All right, so let's pick up on this theme that words matter. I absolutely agree. Two-part question. Part one of the question is, what are the words we should be using? And conversely, part two, what are the words we should perhaps shy away from?
Well, I don't know that it's words that we should be using from the standpoint of only these words, but recognizing that certain words actually invoke certain responses. For example, in that first step, we talk about a comprehensive approach. It really is a nod to the fact that there's a lot of different things happening, and if we're not looking at everything, and instead we're only focusing on one or two pieces, that quite frankly, we might be creating more problems than we are solutions for our clients. So I think it's really important we begin with that comprehensive approach, but then ensure that they understand that once we know where all those parts are, we ensure they all complement one another to help achieve the goals.
Listening to you, it makes me think about the phrase disciplined process in the second point, that this conveys to the client, even maybe on a subliminal level, that we've done this before and we've got a way to take those puzzle pieces and put them together.
Right. Go ahead, Phil.
No, I was just going to say, it sounds like it's important to, quote unquote, unpack some of these words. Sometimes we will say certain things and we allow them to remain self-evident without actually unpacking and defining what that means.
Really good. You know, it's almost like saying, yeah, here's what we do. Now let me tell you what that means. Now let me share with you what that will help you accomplish. As we get to that third step, we really focus on, again, those resources, but I think that using the name of that person is what really hits home there. Otherwise, it's sort of kind of an idea. You know, well, how does that work, or how might that apply? No, when I'm working with X, we'll bring in this person, and this person helps us think through and share with the client the information that they need. I also think that's a great opportunity to paint the picture of when we do bring that person in, we'll put them on that side of the table. You and I, client, will sit on this side, shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm. We'll ask every question. We'll explore every alternative. We'll make sure that we together have all the information we need to make the right decision for you.
And then when we, again, come back to the fourth point, again, we want to craft our words carefully. I think about the conversations that we've had previous to this on, for example, niche marketing. And to say, for example, that a portion of our practice is specifically devoted to multiple restaurant franchisees. We focus a major part of our activities on women going through divorce. So if we are going to apply our branding message to certain niches, then it can be very flexible, especially in that fourth point.
Really good.
So those are words that we should focus on. How about part two of the question? What are the words we should perhaps shy away from?
I think probably one of the biggest words we ought to focus or ensure that we don't focus on is I. I do this, I do that. It's about me, me, me. And quite frankly, even if it's you and the client, as opposed to you and your team, I think letting them know you have a role. You're part of the team and we expect you to participate and to be active in what we're discussing. So together what we'll do is walk through. We'll use together a disciplined process. Together we'll comprehensively look at everything. So I think that's probably one of the primary words I think you should stay away from is I.
I completely agree with that. And a sort of first cousin of that is the person who mistakes a verbal resume for a branding message. You know, I was a finance major in college, and then I spent 3 years in the insurance industry, and then I finally got, they don't really care. So you really want to make sure that the branding message is really about what do you do for clients, how do you do it, what resources come to bear for them, and why is it to their advantage to actually move forward with you.
I'll add one more too, Linda. I think that, and you kind of got right to the edge of it but didn't say it, let's avoid titles. Because titles mean different things to different people. You know, whether it's a certain designation, whether it's a particular role in an institution, it may mean a lot to the advisor because they know what they've done to get there, but the client has no idea. Don't tell them what you are, tell them what you do and how you serve them.
Oh, that's absolutely important. And you've sparked another idea for me. Sometimes, especially early in one's career, advisors like to just impress clients with how much they know. Okay. So that when you're thinking, for example, of the second step in the 4-point branding message, well, we examine by using a Monte Carlo simulation where your alpha might be. 3 out of every 5,000 clients will have a clue as to what you're talking about.
Right.